Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the book Road Less Traveled by Scott Beck? Because I have been reading that book and it kind of relates to what you were saying about are you man or the mouse? Like he talks a lot about things that are natural and things that are unnatural. And like behaving like a dog, like a mouse is natural. Like being addicted to things is natural. But the civilization moves
Natural for a
when someone
dog.
does
Natural,
unnatural.
natural for a dog. What's
Yeah.
natural for a human? I haven't read the book, so I can't speak to it at all. But what does he say about? If he says that about being a dog, then what is a human? What is a real
Human,
human?
basically,
Hmm?
human is someone who like does like they can behave like a mouse. Then yeah, it's like you said, there are billions of people who are like that. But there are like if one wishes to be better than mouse, then they are basically doing something that's kind of unnatural to human.
There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with being a mouse if you're a mouse. There's nothing wrong with being a sheep if you're a sheep. But the question is not about mice and sheep. The question is about man. What is man here
Yeah.
for?
To do something to improve.
He's not going to improve on nature. He's not going to improve on the wetness of water. He's not going to improve on the design of a leopard or a cheetah. What is he here to improve? And who said he was here to improve anything? Where'd you get that, I wonder? Besides himself.
Then if there is nothing to improve, what
I didn't say it was nothing to
is
improve. I'm saying that nature doesn't strike me as something that needs improving.
yeah.
I mean, look at it. It's all 100% consistent, 100% reliable, 100% able to get along just fine without us, which it did for billions of years, and may do another billions of years without us. So I wouldn't say that nature's what needs improving at the moment, but keep going. So what is it that a man's for? Okay, so a cheetah runs fast, all right? A lion is strong. A bird flies through the air like it's nothing. A fish is wonderful at swimming, all right? What is man known for? Or what is man's characteristic that is most distinctive or identifiable with that creature?
A really high level of cooperation with other species.
A high
Like not
level of a
animals,
high level of cooperation with other species.
not species, between humans, members of that same species.
Okay, as hard as it is to say that might be true these days, I'll give you that. But now what? So we've you mean with other societies? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, I may not have
Yeah,
understood.
kind of, yes. Yeah.
So India and Pakistan is an example of this, or Israel and Palestine, or Ukraine and Russia, or what? Iran and Iraq, or is that what you're referring to?
No, not those, but yeah, that will always happen.
Okay, so it doesn't seem to be our strong suit. But what are we here for?
Survive.
We can learn. We have language. None of the other animals have language like we do. I mean, they probably have some language, but it's not like ours. We can form concepts. We can think abstractly. That's what distinguishes us is abstract thought. And so I would submit, and you could, again, this is where it's important. I would say the purpose of man is to learn. Now, because that's why we have these enormous cortexes, and that's probably why we're still around. The ones that didn't learn all got eaten. And so that's why I like to refer to the Tao Te Ching, because it talks about how to protect yourself and how to nourish yourself. And so we're going to have to stop soon. But so we see, what was it? So I don't want you to accept my belief on my authority. You need to decide for yourself. Am I here to be, take the place of everything you're describing could be done by a chimpanzee, and probably will be done by a chimpanzee if only the chimpanzee had some money, right? I mean, the chimpanzee will play these games, as long as you give it some food, right? And if you give it junk chimpanzee food, so much the better, right? So you can live like an animal, which is what people do, or you could choose to live, in my opinion, like a human being. And in my opinion, the only thing worth doing is finding truth, to find out where you came from and where you're going next. And the other thing is, you really kind of want to have this figured out before you're on your deathbed, right? So you can, there's so much to say here.
So where should I start with? Should I just first start with completing the new work?
That's not an appropriate question. You start with whatever you want. But the real question is, why are you doing any of this? I mean, you have a job, you're going to have some money, you can eat all the junk food you want, or good food that you want, and play video games the rest of the time. So what's the problem?
I will regret it, and that is something I don't want to. I want to explore things in my life, because I think the place I am at, I'm grateful for it, and like, people would kill to be in the place that I am at.
Kill and die. Yeah, we're standing on the virtue of others, right? We're living on the virtue of and the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the agony, and other things that humans before us did, so we could live lives of comfort, relative comfort, right, and ease. And now, what we choose to do with that, we could be grateful, or we could be childlike and just say, well, yeah, of course, Daddy provides everything, and Mommy will take care of me. And if I get sick or whatever, I'll just run home and Mommy will. But see, the thing is, Mommy and Daddy are going to die. And then where are you going to be? So I'm not trying to talk you into anything. What I'm trying to get you to see is that no one can answer these questions but you. And it sounds like you already have, but you just don't want to believe the answer. All right? And so this is what, again, the discipline, the energy, the insight, the knowledge, the patience, but not too much patience. You'll blow up like a balloon, right? and all the others that we've already discussed. This is where they come into play. But at the root of them all is a decision. Am I a man who's going to waste my life like most all other people? Or I am a man who knows better than that and now have to stand up and face the day. Perhaps I've been negligent in my youth, right? Most of us were. But you got to pick. No one can pick you up but yourself in this game. And so going back again to the authority thing, yeah, don't believe any of this on authority, but just ponder the question and answer it for yourself. No one can answer it for you. But if everyone should ask themselves, how much of what I do could be done a little bit less expensively by a primate animal like a chimpanzee, or even with a quadruped like a dog? How much of this could be done by these animals? In which case, I don't even need to be here. You could look at it that way if you want. Or alternatively, you could say, what is it about being a human and a human man in this epoch, 2023? That matters. What's going to matter after the AIs can do all the work, which looks like it's going to happen if we survive? What is my life going to be? Have you seen? I'm thinking this. Have you seen a movie called? It's by Stanley Kubrick. A Clockwork Orange.
Heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that'd be probably something to, instead of playing a video game, maybe you could watch a movie, but a good movie, right? And yeah, it's hard. I suppose, to give up. But it's much easier once you've made a decision and you've decided that I can't be a child anymore. If I want to play video games, I play it after a day's work, after the study, not before. And I'm not the kind of, but if you're the kind of guy who eats his dessert before dinner, I don't know that's the wrong person for this kind of work. And so it may be that you won't make it in this kind of work. Because those kinds of people want the result without doing the work of understanding themselves, the most basic work of knowing who they are. And those people fail. And so it may be better to just forget you ever heard about any of this stuff. And you go back to video games and food. Video games, food, and mama will take care of me. I mean, that, literally, I'm not joking. Because this path is one that you reach a point where you can't go back. And you don't know exactly when that will be, but you reach a point and you can't return. Yeah, so make up your mind. I mean, you have to make up your mind. So you're really not asking me the questions, you're asking yourself the questions. Okay? And so find out the answers and let me know and we'll talk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Like, I'm not doing those things.